Sigmund Freud is one of the most famous doctors who explored the human subconsciousness. But does everything he says is really true? Today we are going to discover it. Hi, my name is Monromenska. I am a certified life coach, and we are talking about Sigmund Freud doubtful statements. Freud never used science to come up with some of his ideas. He started with the idea and then he went backwards, looking for tidbits to reinforce his beliefs. The philosophy and ethics of Nietzsche, in particular his naturalistic approach to man, the explanation of social processes from the point of view of animal nature, had considerable influence on works of many representatives of psychology and philosophy back in 19th and 20th century, as well with Freud. Freud himself admitted that psychoanalysis is devoid on Nietzscheism. Freud himself was famous for opposed the idea of any type of criticism back then when he was famous. He absolutely loved to be a celebrity. And if Freud himself decides to hunt me down, I am very much down for it. So let's go. First, main idea of Freud is Oedipus complex. The hypothesis that every boy desires his mother, and for that reason, he is ready to kill his father or to be envious or jealous of his father for craving that attention from the mother, and he sees the father as a rival. At the same time, the boys see in the father a figure of protection. So for that reason, this inner conflict makes him to repress his inner desire to kill his father. I would say it sounds insane, or at least it sounds like somebody took cocaine a lot, which Freud actually did when he mentions a lot in his books the benefits of using cocaine for his therapy and for himself as well. Freud was so sure that he knew what was wrong with his clients that he didn't even leave for himself a chance or possibility to think that he might be wrong. So a lot of issues of his patients he explained only based on a theory which never was or could be proven. There is, if none, but at least a little empirical evidence of existence of those complexes in human nature. Also, there are no evidence to prove that superego and ego exist. The other mistake, Freud was so sure that only psychoanalysis is the best and only way to work and help his clients. However, nowadays, with so many branches of psychology, it's proven not working effectively in many cases, especially because Freud used a lot of essays of his clients only when they were successful. Till these days, still, nobody was capable of finding miraculous cure for monsters of our past, which means psychoanalysis itself cannot be a cure for everything, and especially about our past. The other mistake of Freud was that memory cannot be hacked. Freud's psychoanalysis assumed that all our memories, traumas, and drives are stored in one specific place in the brain, and you can fish out any memory, take it out, and then with analysis to store them in place and to see where is the source of deviation. But modern science and neurologists say that our brain is so complex that is way more complicated than Freud assumed. When retrieving a memory, our brain always adds sensations and experiences of the present. So our memories are distorted every time we remember anything. The next mistake is that dreams are hidden sexual desires. A Freud determination suggested that all our dreams could be decoded in the context of sex and deepest desires. Yes, they can, but not always. Modern science claims that our dreams are just a random images and random memories of processing to prepare us for wakefulness of the next day and give us for our brain some rest. The next mistake is that girls get jealous of boys' penises. First of all, no one will ever be able to find out this statement. One of Freud's most important theories is not listed in scientific community simply because it cannot be empirically confirmed or refuted. Also, it's important to remember that back then, when Freud was a celebrity, he could take into consideration not equality of men and women rights. Of course, women wanted to have the same equal rights, so it can be overlapped with the idea that they wanted to have penises. But in fact, all women wanted is to have the same rights to be writers, to be famous politicians, to participate in social groups just like men, and not to be a property of a man or just an extension. The next mistake of Freud is his attitude or approach of what love is. According to Freud, the basis of any relationship and love is libido, the unconsciousness, sexual desire of a person. So all romantic feelings are just a desire of intimacy and sex. But in real life, Freud was not so categorical. When he met his only wife, Martha Bernay, they had, before getting married, 4 years of exchanging letters. And they wrote 900 letters for each other. And if you read those letters, they can definitely fit in a sentimental novelty, which means that Freud himself didn't really believe that everything was about our libido. And there was some romanticism of our connection of souls, of our connections of minds. At least that's what his biography shows to us. The next mistake of Freud is about orgasm. He believed that women who only could reach clitorical orgasm were not developed fully as women, or on top of it, had a lot of psychological issues which didn't allow them to reach vaginal orgasm. And I would say all orgasms are wonderful, and it absolutely doesn't mean that if woman is not capable of reaching a vaginal orgasm, she is undeveloped or not in touch with her body. And the reason why he could have this theory is because only a girlfriend of Nietzsche started talking about women's sexuality. She was one of the first women ever talking about it. So basically, nobody knew what orgasm was unless you had an access to read Kama Sutra. But who really did? And the last one is Freud's approach of human happiness. Freud believed that men, human, are not capable of reaching happiness because of that inner conflict between Eros, which is sexual desires, and Thanatos. Thanatos is the god of death, which is reaching for killing, reaching for distortion, reaching for destroying. This inner conflict doesn't allow humans to be happy because we live in that conflict for the rest of our life. However, this is philosophical question, is not based on any knowledge of psychology. We are talking about self-awareness, self-regulation, and humans' capacity to control their thoughts and emotions. For example, cognitive therapy works with thoughts as the main source of unhappiness, and changing your thoughts, you can reach some level of joy or happiness, which totally contradicts the theory of being unhappy for the rest of your life by Freud. I wish for you all to feel happiness and to reach that enlightenment when you are in control of your life. Thank you for watching it, and I'll see you next time.